Hey, how's it going? Out in the middle of the ocean, an earthquake shakes the bottom so hard it causes a huge crack and lets out this bright blue light. On the surface, a couple is just enjoying some time together, when the guy surprises his girlfriend by proposing. But before she can answer, something pulls the man right under the water. The woman is confused, looking all around until she starts to scream when his body, completely lifeless, floats to the surface. Soon enough, the killer also appears. It's a contaminated zombie that immediately takes out the woman. Meanwhile, Hunter, Ray, and their niece Jada are out having fun fishing when they see another boat burning way out there. They rush over to help, and Hunter douses the flames before anything real bad happens. The fire was started by some fireworks that were handled poorly, which Hunter confiscates since he's the local supervisor, you know. He also gives the group on the boat a piece of his mind for drinking and boating. Blaine doesn't take the telling off too well. Meanwhile, up on top of a cliff, a mysterious guy is watching the blue light with his binoculars. Back with Hunter's group, they get back to fishing, and Ray hooks something really big. After a bit of a struggle, he pulls it in and is totally shocked to see the body of a person who's completely blue. Jada uses a camera to investigate and finds the blue light deep down in the sea, which is not normal at all. Hunter quickly radios the authorities, and while Jada is covering the body, the guys also spot the blue light on the surface. Jada looks away for just a second and realizes the body is gone. Turns out, this guy is a zombie too, and it attacks Jada, seriously messing up her shoulder. Ray runs in to distract the creature, while Hunter grabs his big old machete, stabbing the zombie until it goes down. However, the monster gets back up pretty quick, so Hunter and Ray team up to shove it back into the ocean. Over in town, Hunter's girlfriend, Kenzie, and her daughter, Sam, get a call from Hunter. He asks Kenzie to help Jada out, cause she's a doctor. Kenzie leaves right away to find her husband, while Sam stays with her buddies to go to a concert. Sam meets the singer, Dag, and there's a bit of a spark between them, you know. Pretty soon, Kenzie and an ambulance grab Jada and get her to the hospital, where she's examined by the doctors, while Ray stays with her. Meanwhile, Hunter meets up with Sheriff Akoni, and they agree to investigate the strange incident together. They take Hunter's boat and can already see the blue light on the surface. Hunter sends the camera down again and finds a shipwreck with a crack that's giving off the mysterious light. The ship has no nameplate or any designations, which is also weird. Nearby, there's some bizarre creature swimming around. Hunter suggests the attacks could be from zombies and shares his experience, but Akoni just laughs at the idea. Right then, a huge horde of zombies shows up in the water and starts swimming their way. So then, Akoni believes Hunter's story, While Hunter calls Kenzie, asking her to isolate Jada, he also calls for help and tells his colleagues to evacuate everyone in the area. The tsunami siren starts blaring on the beach, and people are in shock when they notice the water pulling back. Hunter and Akoni want to go back to help the civilians, but they just freeze when they see a gigantic wave full of zombies right behind them. While people are panicking as the tsunami gets closer, Hunter tries to get the boat going as fast as possible, but it still gets caught by the wave, and the guys have no choice but to take cover. In just a few seconds, the zombie tsunami hits the coast and completely destroys the area, leaving zombie bodies absolutely everywhere. Hunter and Akoni also make it to shore safely, and Akoni pulls his gun on a zombie but decides to save his bullets for now. At the hospital, Kenzie tells Ray that most of the staff has been evacuated, so Jada won't be seen for a while, which means she and Ray will have to be in quarantine for the time being. Back at the beach, there are several survivors, so Hunter and Akoni try to warn them about the danger. However, it's already too late. The zombies that came in with the wave are waking up, and more are coming out of the sea to attack every person they can get their hands on. Most of the survivors end up becoming zombies too, making the horde even bigger. Akoni and Hunter use their guns and machetes to kill a few zombies, but there are just so many of them, and people keep getting killed. Hunter finds a boat and uses its motor to take out several monsters at the same time, which allows a group of people to get away. Meanwhile, Sam and her friends are watching the attack from a building and try to call their parents, but everyone's too busy panicking to answer the phone. At the hospital, Jada wakes up only to die again a few seconds later. She immediately reawakens as a zombie and tries to attack Ray, but right at that moment, a doctor comes in and Jada bites him instead. Ray takes the opportunity to run out of the room. Back on the beach, Akoni kills another zombie with an umbrella. It doesn't matter how many they kill, the number of zombies just keeps growing, and the injured ones still keep moving. So Akoni and Hunter decide to get out of there and find some backup. When they get in the truck, they yell when they see someone in the back seat, but it's just Blaine and his girlfriend who are hiding. The guys agree to help them, and the truck takes off. Meanwhile, the mysterious man with binoculars gets to the beach and walks up to a zombie with a crowbar in his hand. At the hospital, Kenzie comes out of a room and is horrified to find out that Jada has killed the entire staff. Jada starts chasing her, and as Kenzie runs down the hall, Ray pulls her into a room and locks the door, which Jada starts pounding on. Unfortunately, the staff members soon turn into zombies too and help Jada push until they manage to break down the door. So Ray and Kenzie have to run for it again. They get to another section of the hospital and find a zombie in a wheelchair, not to mention that Jada is still following them. The pair keeps running and tries to find a way to escape. A few minutes later, Akoni and the others arrive at the police station and run as fast as they can when they see more zombies coming. The monsters almost get Blaine, so he shoves his girlfriend towards the horde as bait and joins the others inside. While the zombies are banging on the windows, Hunter confronts Blaine for what he did, which makes Blaine just lose it and grab a gun from a cop. He demands access to the armory, and when the others refuse, Blaine shoots the officer. Then Blaine tries to make a run for the armory, but Hunter takes him down fast. Back with Sam and her friends, they get out of the building and start running through the streets. They have to push a zombie out of the way, and the horde turns its attention to another group that's running, taking down some of its members. A few blocks later, Sam's group decides to hide out in a market, but that place is also crawling with zombies. Daeg trips and hurts his ankle, so Sam has to help him walk. The other guy gets killed right away, and the group splits up. Ta'ani pushes a few zombies away before running outside, while Sam and Dag run towards the back. At the station, Akoni keeps trying to use the radio to call for help, but nobody answers. So Akoni grabs an envelope from a safe that says Revok Pharmaceutical and destroys it while Hunter isn't looking. Speaking of Hunter, he checks the marine registry and finds the ship they saw at the bottom of the sea. It's registered as being owned by Revok Industries, and its status says salvaged and disposed of, which means the company totally hid the shipwreck. Just then, the zombies finally smash through the windows, so Hunter and Akoni run to the armory to grab some weapons. Hunter is more interested in the confiscated items and grabs a cool-looking sword with a double blade. On their way out, a handcuffed Blaine asks them to take him along, but they just ignore him. Using police shields, the pair pushes their way through the horde at the door, and while Akoni shoots the closest zombies, Hunter uses a rocket launcher to take out the group coming down the street. Unfortunately, the zombies are still moving, and to make things worse, a second zombie tsunami is on its way. The pair gets away in the truck, and while driving through the forest, they find the alpha zombie and run it over. However, the monster is totally fine. Back with Sam and Deeg, they get to the parking lot and find his van, where a member of the band is just relaxing. He'd been wearing headphones the whole time and had no idea what was going on, eh? The guy opens the van for the others, but then he tries to be a hero and can't fight off so many zombies at once, so he gets killed pretty quick. Sam and Deg lock the doors and try to get away, but the van won't start. Meanwhile, Ta'ani manages to get out of town and is running through the forest with zombies still chasing her. She sees a house in the distance and runs to the gate, where Marty sees her on the security cameras. This is that mysterious guy from before, who captured a zombie and is keeping it hidden in the basement to study it. Marty asks her to show him the back of her head to make sure she wasn't bitten, and when he sees she's all clear, he opens the gate. Ta'ani runs inside just before the zombies can reach her, but now the whole horde is waiting out front. Ta'ani grabs Marty's radio and calls her dad, who is Akoni. She promises to stay inside the house with Marty and asks Akoni to go get Sam at the market. Over at the police station, Blaine manages to reach the dead cop's body and grabs the keys to finally get himself free. When he tries to leave, he finds his zombified girlfriend at the door, who immediately jumps on him and takes a bite. In the parking lot, Deg admits he's slowing Sam down and tells her to leave him behind. He climbs out the car window and gets on the roof, where he starts singing with his ukulele to distract the zombies. At that moment, Akoni and Hunter show up, so Sam runs to them while Akoni shoots at the monsters trying to grab her. After Sam leaves with the men, the zombies finally get to Deg and kill him. Afterwards, the group heads to the hospital, closing the door just before the zombies get there. Kenzie isn't answering any messages, so Sam runs down a hallway to grab a phone before hiding in a room. She uses the phone to talk over the speakers, asking her mom to meet them on the second floor. The noise, of course, attracts a bunch of zombies. So Hunter and Akoni start fighting him with a gun and a fire extinguisher. Sam doesn't realize that the phone cord is wrapped around her leg, and pretty soon the monsters start pulling on it from outside. A zombie smashes the door with its head, so Sam has to defend herself with the double-bladed sword. Meanwhile, Hunter grabs 2 wires from the power box and zaps a zombie, starting an electrical current that jumps from creature to creature and kills them all. A little later, Kenzie and Ray show up in the elevator. A zombie blocks Kenzie's path, so she just decks him with a punch and finally reunites with her daughter. While the guys lock the zombie up, the group starts to head out. Kenzie notices that the zombies that came with the wave look different from the ones that were turned by a bite. She figures out that those people must have been used in some kind of experiments. Outside, Hunter takes down a few more zombies with the blade so the group can get into the truck and finally get away. A few moments later, they get to Marty's house and Tani reunites with her dad. She sees that Akoni has a cut and Marty totally freaks out, but Akoni promises it's just a scratch and that he wasn't actually bitten. As soon as everyone's inside the house, Akoni uses Marty's radio to try and call for backup, even though Marty says he hasn't been able to get a hold of anyone since this whole thing started. Tani realizes there have been 2 tsunamis and nobody's come to check out the area, which means there's a whole conspiracy going on behind this. Just then, the captive zombie breaks its chains while growling. Akoni hears a noise and goes to investigate, walking into the experiment room and finding the bed empty. Suddenly, the zombie jumps him and, after a big struggle, Akoni gets bitten. He screams in pain, kicks the zombie away, and the sound of the monster crashing into furniture alerts the others. The zombie hears them and heads upstairs, where it ends up fighting with Kenzie. Marty immediately hits it with his taser, killing it instantly. Ray takes Akoni upstairs and Ta'ani takes care of his wound. While Hunter hooks up the taser to the blade to make it a more effective weapon, the group gives Marty heck for hiding a zombie. So he explains he was doing experiments to try and figure out their weakness. These zombies are chock full of a liquid with phosphorus, which explains the glow in the water and why electricity is the only way to actually stop them for good. Hunter figures they have to lure the zombies back to the water and run a current through it to kill them all at once. They'll also have to blow up the shipwreck to stop more monsters from being created. Marty reveals he has a huge stash of grenades and C4. While the group starts getting the weapons ready, Hunter goes out to clear a path. But the taser isn't working. The gate suddenly swings open, so Kenzie heads out to help too. She turns on the wood chipper and, together with Hunter, starts fighting the zombies, tossing them one by one into the chipper to destroy them. Their teamwork is perfect, and soon all the enemies are dead, allowing the group to escape. As they're leaving, Kenzie tells Hunter that if anything happens to her, he has to take care of Sam. Pretty soon, Akoni starts to feel sick, so they stop to rest in a cave. It's strange that he hasn't turned yet, and Marty explains it's because he wasn't bitten near the head, so the infection is taking longer to get to his brain. Knowing the end is near, Akoni decides to fess up about what he knows. 30 years ago, a pharmaceutical company came to this beach to test a new anti-aging drug. The company ran the tests on a ship, far from any government oversight. They bribed everyone to keep it a secret, including the local leaders. Akoni agreed to help because they promised to take care of his wife, but unfortunately, she passed away anyway. However, the drug wasn't ready for human trials and had terrible side effects, so the company sent the patients and staff away before sinking the ship with the infected people still inside. They also removed the identification plate because it had the company's logo on it. Kenzie suspects that these weren't just side effects and that turning humans into weapons was the company's real goal from the get-go. At that moment, the zombies find them and attack. Hunter finally gets the taser blade working and starts killing the creatures with Marty's help, while the others make a run for it. On the way out, Ta'ani has to leave Akoni behind because he finally dies, but she makes sure to put a grenade in his hand. Once all the zombies are dead, Hunter and Marty meet up with the others and get out of the cave. Before leaving, Ta'ani sees Akoni wake up as a zombie and, in his last few seconds of clarity, he pulls the pin on the grenade. The explosion blocks the cave and stops any more zombies from following them. A few moments later, the group gets to the beach and splits up to get on with the plan. Marty reveals he left the C4 at his house and uses a remote to blow it all up. Now, Ray, Marty, and Tani take off in a boat to get the C4 to the shipwreck. Marty makes all the connections, and Tani tells him to hurry it up because the zombies are swimming right for them. Hunter grabs some cables and drags them to the tide pools, while Kenzie and Sam wait by the power box to flip the switch at the right moment. Hunter grabs a bike and starts blasting loud music to draw the zombies to the beach. Right then, Marty jumps into the water to plant the C4 and gets surrounded by zombies. Ray wants to help, but another zombie climbs aboard and blocks his way. By the time Tani shoves the creature off, it's too late and Marty is already dead. As Hunter is almost at the pools, the vehicle gets stuck in the sand and he has to go the rest of the way on foot. Suddenly, he's found by the alpha zombie, which throws him to the ground. The taser on the blade starts to fail again, so Hunter has to fight it one-on-one. The alpha zombie quickly disarms Hunter and grabs his wrists, so Hunter kicks him a bunch of times to get him away. Kenzie sees all this and runs to get the bike unstuck, blasting the music again to finally lead all the zombies into the pools. Hunter keeps fighting the alpha zombie, and when he's grabbed by the neck, he takes the chance to grab a hidden knife and slash the zombie's arm. On the boat, Ta'ani keeps shooting at the zombies trying to climb aboard, but they just keep coming. Ray gives Ta'ani a life jacket and tells her to get away, just like her dad would have wanted. So she jumps into the sea. The alpha is still fighting with Hunter, who kicks it before grabbing his blade back. The taser finally works and he manages to chop off the zombie's head, throwing it into the pool, just as Sam finally gets the power box working, electrocuting all the zombies at once. Once Ta'ani swims far enough away, Ray says goodbye to Hunter over the radio and detonates the C4, dying in the explosion. A massive wave forms and starts heading for the shore, so Hunter has to run. He finds his path blocked by a zombified Blaine and feels a huge amount of satisfaction as he stabs him with the blade, making his head explode. So, Hunter manages to get away just before the wave hits the coast. He meets up with Kenzie and Sam, who are helping Ta'ani out of the water. The couple kisses, and the family watches the Coast Guard ship approaching in the distance. And that's the end of Zombie Tidal Wave, the 2020 action horror flick. And I'll see you in the next video.